for here. Hmm. Oh, wow. Right over here. I just feel like the lighting is weird on this side. This is better.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good, good, good. How are you?
Good. Are you in New York?
Upstate New York.
Wow, because I'm looking at the scenery. It's beautiful.
Yeah, so we are, let me just show you my backyard here. We
Wow.
are 4 hours away from New York City in a little place called Cherry Valley, New York, not too far from Cooperstown. So
Wow.
that is what three of my girlfriends and I decided to spend the summer kind of quarantined away from the city for a little bit to kind
So
of
fun.
recenter and
Wow.
work remotely. So
Wow, you're inspiring me.
come
I
out, come
It's
out. It's a different
beautiful.
world out here. And you look
I bet.
beautiful too. I love your hair.
Thank you. It looks like you're in like the South, like Georgia or something. I can't believe you're in New York.
Yeah, upstate New York is really magical. Like, so I grew up in Brooklyn and, we went upstate for the summer because my family, so we're originally from Belarus, and Russian people, it's a tradition in the summers to be in nature. To go out with your grandparents and spend time with
Wow.
your extended family on the farm and things like that back in the old country. So here, a lot of immigrants, they also have kind of like a tradition of going away for the summers and being in nature. And it's just a really nice way to reset. And it's, oh my God, it's so needed for all of us. All of us need to be out
So
in nature
needed.
more.
Yeah. Well, before we get into more of your beautiful excursion, I just want to introduce the Brave Pod. Thank you guys for joining us again this Friday. As you guys know, this is the Brave Pod. We have episodes every Friday where we're interviewing our members and people in our community. And the Brave House is a nonprofit organization that caters to girls, immigrant girls from 16 to 24. And we provide holistic support for them, whether it's legal support or food or anything or activities, fun activities. I remember meeting you at Thanksgiving and you called my card. You're so cool.
Mm.
So that's a little bit about the Brave Pod. And today we have Alina
Thank you for
here.
having me.
Yeah, of course. So we're going to kick it off with our first question. We are already talking about nature and traditions already, which I love. What are three places do you feel like make up your identity?
Yeah, so place has always been a little bit difficult for me because I never felt like I was from anywhere. I was born in a country called Belarus, which most people had no idea about up until recently. If you turn on the news, you'll see Belarus is big in the news right now because we're going through a bit of a revolution. We've had a dictator for 20 years, and for
Wow.
time, people are finally demanding fair elections, and they're going out and peacefully protesting. And obviously, there's a lot of drama and a lot of pushback from the government about what's happening. So it's Belarus is definitely on fire. But I would say that would be the first place. Although I don't remember Belarus very well, I immigrated when I was a little girl. I grew up in a Belarus household. We spoke Russian, we ate Russian food, we had all the traditions associated with it. So I would say that would be my first place. even if it's more conceptual. And my second place would be Brooklyn. So I grew up in South Brooklyn. I grew up in Sheepshead Bay, Brooklyn, and Midwood. And I was, a little immigrant kid going to public school, got my public school education, hanging out at the park after school with my friends, being able to be in a classroom with people from all walks of life and all shapes and sizes and colors and religions, and having a group of friends that represented the way that I see, American society, the way that, like the ideal of what I would say would be the American dream.
Right.
And then the third place, I can't really, like I said, place is a really interesting concept for me. But I would say the third place is probably just somewhere in the middle of the forest.
As we see that.
Somewhere in nature, because at the end of the day, we are all a part of nature, and living in cities makes it very difficult for us to remember that sometimes.
Right.
And ultimately, we all came from the earth. We'll all go back to the earth. We are all a piece of the earth. And so anywhere in nature, anywhere where I feel like I am not the center of the attention, but just a part of the ecosystem, I would say feels like home to me.
I love that. I really love that. And I really love being in nature too. It's something that's so like calming about it. It feels like I kind of like belong. Like I don't like to feel trapped, which is why when New York was really bad with COVID cases, I went back home to Miami because it wasn't that bad yet. And it's just because I'm so used to being in like nature and having a backyard and open spaces. And I think that it's like really important for like mental health. And speaking of mental health, with everything that's going on in your home country and even in all around the world right now, it's on fire, right? People are protesting. So many things are going on, not only in America, Yemen, so many crises. How many crises actually? How are you maintaining your mental health?
Oh, big question, right? I think right now, like you mentioned, the mental health is a crisis in this country, all over the world, right? With everything that's been going on, just as much as what's physically happening to all of us as well. And everything is so connected. So that has become for me like my top priority, especially as
Right.
somebody who has had health challenges growing up in my youth. It's something that I prioritize above all else. So mental health for me, and the strategies that I've been employing is, number one, sure that I have, I'm doing things for myself that are maintaining the health of my mind and my body. So I make sure I'm a dietitian, right? So I
Mhm.
make sure that I'm eating healthy meals. I'm making
Right.
sure that I'm eating meals, because that is really important for mental health. Like all of the nutrients that we eat become our mental health as well. So making sure I'm having consistent healthy meals, making sure I'm getting enough sleep, really important for mental health. I need, 8 to 9 hours a night, really important for me. Some people don't like to sleep that much. I need to sleep 8 to 9 hours a night to make sure that I'm good and I wake up with the right amount of energy and the motivation to do what I need to do. And also having activities that schedule throughout the day that make you feel alive. So
Right.
I work a lot, I'm always kind of like in my head working, doing something, but making sure I'm stepping back and either having 5 or 10 minutes to meditate,
Mm.
20 to read something that I'm really enjoying,
Right.
15 minutes to draw or to paint, something that takes me out of my head and into my body, and something that gets me playful and creative and enjoying my life, I think is really important to me.
I love that. I love that. I've been trying to meditate a lot more, and I recently started to read The Alchemist again,
Oh
just
my
because
God.
I feel like, yeah, I just feel like this quarantine has been a journey. This year has been a journey. I mean, we're in August already, so I'm just trying to figure out what my place is in the journey, or just trying to remind myself where my place is in the journey. And it's literally like meditating a little bit and reading for 20 minutes out of the day, and like coloring sometimes, and just doing something that's like not so structured or like having like, you know, forced or making me just like overthink things, just getting me out of my head. So I really love that you've provided multiple things that you're doing, and it's not just one thing,
Mhm.
including eating healthy too, because I think a lot of what we're putting into our bodies really matters. And I don't think people understand that like what you eat also plays a role in like how you feel and your emotions as
Oh,
well. And I think that's so, I know this is you're all about that, but yeah, I really think that it's important.
completely. And it's
What are
kind of,
some of the things?
I was just going to say, a lot of people think that mental health is just one thing. It just means like meditation, right? Like, okay,
Right.
it's stress management. Like, mental health is
Mhm.
stress management. But mental health is everything. It's the way we
Right.
feel about ourselves, and it's our motivation to be here and to be at our best. And so when we
Hmm.
think of mental health that way, everything can contribute to our mental health, right? So
Hmm.
that's why it's so important to protect it. Hmm.
Yeah, so important. So I know we're heavy in the mental health and like all the things that are going on in the world. What is something that you're excited about?
Yeah. Oh my, I'm excited about so many things because at the beginning of
That's
the pandemic, at the beginning, and with everything going on, it can get really heavy. Like scrolling through the news, reading up on what's going on, it's really easy to
heavy.
be discouraged. It's so easy. And at the beginning, I was a little bit of a mess. I'm not gonna lie. I was one of those people that I was like, guys, I was like calling my mom, like, did you buy beans? Like, are you okay? I was a little bit, I was going a little nuts. But now what I'm
Right.
seeing is I really feel that we are in a time of tremendous opportunity. I think that we're in a transitional place
Tremendous.
in society. So much is coming up to the surface. We are all collectively seeing things that we had not seen or acknowledged in the past, right? With everything
Right.
that's been going with the Black Lives Matter movement, with everything that's been going
Right.
on with COVID, exposing all of the gaps that we have in our society, right?
Right.
Not just in our society politically, not just socially, not just structurally, but also in our own hearts, right? To see where we have those gaps. So I see now as a tremendous opportunity to reimagine the kind of world that we want to live in. So, what I've been spending a lot
Yep.
of time doing is thinking, okay, where are the problems that I can help solve? Like, what am I excited
Right.
about? What do I want to help solve? And all of us have unique gifts and we're positioned
Hmm.
uniquely to be able to solve those problems. So, for example, if
Yep.
you really want to help kids and you see how these kids are at home trying to learn remotely, struggling to learn remotely, right? Um, with families and parents that are really struggling to put a meal on the table and to figure out how to get the kids active and how to engage. Cool, you have a huge opportunity to go and help make an impact there. If you're like me
Yeah.
and you're obsessed with like the food system and farming and growing your own food, start a garden. Go out there,
Right.
learn about it. There's now you have time, you have the internet, which is unlimited resources, and you have community. You can find other people
I love
that can
it.
help you do that same thing. So I see now as a tremendous opportunity to kind of, okay, we had our time to freak out. We had our time to feel discomfort, and we're going to feel discomfort, but now let's take that fuel
Right.
and let's turn it into action, and let's actually make an impact.
Right.
And it doesn't have to look like, you can literally make it whatever you want, which is what I'm excited
Right. I agree. It's crazy that you're bringing this up because I kind of mentioned this a few episodes of the Brave Pod ago, and I think that during our meeting last week, Lauren and I was talking about it. I think that everyone has a space in this movement, not just the Black Lives Matter movement, but just this movement that like although things seem like they're standing still, there's movement going around, things are happening, and everyone has their place within that. So it's like COVID gave me the option to work from home, which is great, and now I'm out here protesting because social justice is something I've always cared about. And I think that is like I think freaking out was necessary because we're so used to being structured and being told what to think, how to feel, what to do throughout the day. We didn't know what to do with ourselves. We're like, what, you want us to sit inside and quarantine and do nothing? And now a lot of people are tapping back into their passions. They're like reflecting on like why am I working this job that I hated this year? Like maybe I could create a passion project at home that could give me some sort of like funds to support or to donate or to just help out my own like everyday needs. And I think that that is the beautiful thing that came out of COVID. Like unfortunately, so many people got sick, but also we got to slow down and we got to focus, some of us, on what we really wanted from our world. And some of us already envision the world and already can see the world that we want to live in. And I think that it's important that we have the opportunity to see that now because we didn't before. We're so on the go, 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 thinking that we needed to like accomplish all these things. We're realizing that we can still accomplish things and think critically and be intentional about what we put into ourselves and be intentional about what we give to other people and how we want to help society as a whole. I love that.
Yeah, absolutely. You're completely right. And it's like, that's not put aside all the suffering that's going on and to minimize what people are going through. And we have tremendous amounts of small businesses shutting down, entire industries that are really like may never come back. And that is the
Right.
reality. As human beings, we have always been extremely resilient and figured it out, and we've worked together to figure it out. And that's what I'm excited for. Not to minimize
Right.
the struggle going on, but just to try to look at it from a little bit of a different perspective. So,
of course. And I think that within that, those who are struggling, that's okay. Like it's okay to feel your emotions. Like things are changing, and with change comes discomfort, like you mentioned. And but change doesn't always have to be a negative thing. It could be positive. And perspective is everything. And there has to be, in the midst of the turmoil, there has to be something shining that someone can focus on rather than like, my business is closing, I have no money at it. And I know those are like real issues, but there can be some sort of positivity within that. And I think that that's what we're talking about. We're not taking away from the struggle because everyone's struggling, and like people are being targeted, protesters are being targeted, people are hungry, people don't have money. And it's scary times, but it's also inspiring because we're also very creative when we're pushed up against the wall.
completely.
Mm-hmm.
Makes a diamond, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're gonna play a little game.
Oh, there's
I'm gonna I'm gonna start a sentence and you have to finish it with one word.
okay.
If you can. You could try. Sometimes I give people leeways with 2-3 words,
All right.
depending. Okay. Okay, so my happy place is
Outside in nature.
bravery is
Every woman's like birthright.
I come alive when I'm
Giving back to others. That's not one word, is it?
it's okay. Something I want to be better at is
Not being so hard on others or my
the world needs more of
judgment-free generosity.
it. If I could be an animal, I would be.
Jaguar.
Oh, I love it. Um, I asked you all the questions. That's the end of the game. Yeah, that's it. That's it. But you did a great job. You did a great job.
Thank you.
I love your answers.
I just came. I don't know why I want to be a jaguar, but now I'm gonna have to go back and think about it.
I could see that you like the like. I could see that like you're. I don't know. I think that when people think jaguar, they think vicious, but I see strong. I see calculated. I see strategic. I see like them prowling through like the forest, like looking for things. I don't know. I can see that for you.
Definitely on the prowl. Lauren thought I was a bird. Maybe.
Maybe every day you could be something different. You don't have to be one animal.
Definitely. And also, I just want to say I want to talk about the amazing mural that you guys built. that you guys painted with Angela, and it's just so beautiful. I've been looking at it from my Instagram, and it's just so gorgeous. So congratulations on all that hard work. It's absolutely stunning.
I can't wait for you to see it in person.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm gonna cry.
Yeah. So the last question is, what is a message that you have for someone who's struggling and watching this live today?
Struggle is an important and necessary initiation for all people, and especially for women, in these times that we're living in. It's extremely important for us to understand the role of struggle in lives and how we can use struggle to transform, grow, and transcend, and grow into who we're kind of meant to be here on planet Earth. Struggle is uncomfortable, and it's not fun in the moment. And it's really easy to want to do everything possible to alleviate it and to get rid of it and to just turn around and walk the other way. But it's kind of like, what's that saying? The only way out is through. Once you
Right.
get through, then what's on the other side you could never imagine. So
Right.
all of individually, personally, collectively, like we're all in this portal of transformation right now, and I really truly believe that. And it's kind of like giving birth, right, if you will. Like, it's 9 months of discomfort, and then that moment of, of pain to create this beautiful new being that otherwise
I
get
love
here. So
that.
think about it all as like struggle is just a birth canal. And when you look at struggle that way, then it's not struggle anymore. It's just transformation.
Wow. You just said struggle is a birth canal. I love that.
I've never given birth, but one day, maybe we will all give birth together.
That makes sense. It's a birth canal. Something always comes out of it. Something bright and beautiful always comes out of it. Some sort of lesson you learn, if you let yourself go through it, at least some sort of lesson you learn, some sort of reflection, so some sort of like acknowledgement, acceptance, forgiveness. A lot of things come out of that. I love that. That is beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that with me. I might put it in a poem.
Please
I'll
put it
give
in a
credits, of
poem.
course, because I'm like, I never thought about it. But thank you so much for joining us today. This was a lovely conversation.
Of course. Thank you.
Enjoy nature for all of us who can't.
Yeah,
and we'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely. And anyone who's in the city who's like, I don't have access to nature or whatever, go out to a park, like any park where you have a tree or a shrub or like a little bit of green space, and just like put your feet on the ground, once in a while, and just kind of be present with it. There's a little bit of access to that nature no matter where you are. So just try to do that, and I guarantee you'll feel better.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And thank you guys for watching. Have a great day, beautiful. And
You too. It's beautiful to see you.
See you guys next Friday, or actually this Sunday. This Sunday, we have something special coming up for you guys. Alrighty.
Wonderful. Bye, everyone.
Bye for now.